So this is one reason why you've been struggling to be consistent in your work with God. Please stay to the end of this video, because I trust me, you are going to need this video desperately. Okay, so now you see, part of the things Christians struggle with oftentimes, be it prayer, fasting, service in the house of God, all of giving, all of those things. Part of the things we all struggle with sometimes is in this part, or in the subject of consistency. I've realized that oftentimes part of the reasons why we struggle is that we are yet to understand the meaning of consistency to God and the place of consistency in our walk with God. Now, you see, as regarding consistency, now for you to properly understand the subject of consistency, permit me to give it another name. All right, and for the sake of understanding and for the sake of this video, I will call it consecration. Now, you see, this is where the game changes. All right, of course, personally, in fact, I would normally say that what's in the world they call consistency, in a spiritual setting we call it consecration, because consecration actually means consistency, but with some differences in context. What do I mean? You see, when it comes to building a prayer life, when it comes to building a fasting life, dedication to the house of God, and all whatnot, realize that thing you are doing at all in the house of God, or you are doing in this kingdom, is as powerful as the consecration behind it. I repeat, that anything we are doing in this kingdom, be it prayer, be it fasting, is as powerful as the consecration behind it. In fact, let me explain. Do you know the opposite of consecration? The opposite of consecration means common. It means common. To mean something is either consecrated or common. What's my point? Listen, anybody who has an effective prayer life and there is no consecration to it, what you will realize at the end of the day is that prayer can only make out a common man out of that person. Any person who is fasting and lacks the understanding of consecration, all right, that fasting at best can only make out a common man out of that person. All right, any person who is serving in the house of God but lacks the understanding of consecration, at the end of the day, the whole thing is going to make out a common man out of that person. All right, what makes our service uncommon? What makes prayer uncommon? What makes prayer and fasting powerful is consecration. What is consecration? Consecration means two things. Basically, it means separation and devotion. All right, it means separate something so as to devote it to something. So here's my example. For instance, if you grew up, some of us grew up in a home where there is a particular cup, all right, or plate that is separated and is basically dedicated to using it to serve our Father. You understand? So if they catch you using that plate or using that cup, all right, except you are preparing it to serve your Father with it, you will be punished. You'll be severely punished, because that plate has been consecrated, that cup has been consecrated. Consecration means this thing has been separated and has been ordained, dedicated for this sole purpose. Am I communicating? And the moment you consecrate a thing, a spirit will tabernacle in it. It's a mystery. In fact, in the book of Exodus, I think chapter 20 verse 8, he said, remember the Sabbath day and consecrate it. Oh my God. Remember the Sabbath day and what? And consecrate it. Because it's not just that you're going to church. Now, that what makes your going to church powerful is that you understand the subject of consecration. Now, somebody's asking, so what exactly do you mean? Now, let me bring it down to, let's say, fasting. All right, now you see, what makes fasting powerful is that you've been able to separate some days and dedicate it to that cause. Am I against fasting every day? I'm not against fasting every day, but let me tell you, sometimes those who fast once, twice, maybe every week, sometimes wield more power in that subject more than even people who are fasting every day. Not because fasting every day is powerless, but because sometimes in trying to just do it every day, you tend to lose the sacredness of that activity, and as such you may start doing it outside the whole consecrational dimension to it. Do you understand? Same with prayer. All right, now you see, sometimes we advise people choose a particular day and a particular time in all of those things. Now it's not just religious shenanigans. No, we are teaching you consecration. All right, yes, to mean that, you see, the effect prayer has on you, or the effect fasting has on you, is to what degree God has found a dwelling place in that thing. To mean, it is God that passes through fasting to help you, to grow you. It is not fasting or prayer that grows you. All right, that's why Paul the apostle said, he said, I have planted, Apollos watered, but only God gives growth. Fasting does not give growth, prayer does not give growth. It's God who gives growth. And the truth is, you can, I mean, in that, you do everything right and get everything wrong. Yes, because now you've left out the most important factor. What's my point? If you are praying, that's fine. If you are fasting, that's good, but ensure that there is a room. All right, there's a room in that very activity that can accommodate God. And that room I'm talking about is called consecration. The moment you dedicate a day, a time, or you separate a day, a time that is solely dedicated to that particular subject, you know what happens? Yes, what happens that Spirit, God, will start finding expression in that thing. For instance, do you know how they build idols? Yes, idolatry. They just dedicate a particular tree. Say, okay, from today, this tree is dedicated for this whole purpose and cause. Let me tell you, after 2 weeks, you realize that the tree can now talk. The tree can now do things. All right. Now, spirits are beginning to find habitat in that tree. Why? It's called a power of consecration. Let me tell you, I repeat again, that the opposite of consecration is what is common. To mean that if you remove consecration from prayer, it becomes common. Remove consecration from fasting, it becomes common. Remove consecration from your service and giving to God, it becomes common. Understand the consecrative dimension to it and maintain the sacredness of all of those things, and see God help you and grow you through whatever thing you're doing. You see, when you understand consecration, you understand that consistency in this kingdom doesn't always mean doing something every day. No, it means maintaining consecration. What do I mean? So if you said, I'll be fasting every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, for instance, consistency in that context means maintain that Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. If you can fast Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, you see, you still fasted more, but that is not consistency. Consistency in this kingdom is within the boundaries, within the jurisdiction of consecration. Once again, my name is MereIje Joel. Please, if you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do well to do so, and then turn on your notification bell, and see you next week.